Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You see that man there. He's hyping up the crowd. He's got the same tats in the picture. It's like they're permanent. But I digress, and I must let Teddy introduce our guest we have today.
All right, Mr. Babin. Today's guest is known for his incredible tackles in the National Football League. A man hailing from the amazing state of Michigan. He's played for 9 NFL teams. Yes, Triple Play listeners, you've heard that right. This gentleman is not only a former 2-time NFL Pro Bowler, but also finished third in sacks in the NFL in 2011. From the University of Western Michigan, go Broncos. Give it up for Mr. Jason Thomas Babin. Let's go.
Appreciate you guys having me on, man. I'm super pumped about this.
Yeah, Jason, appreciate.
I've heard some rumors about you guys, but I'll hold my judgment.
Okay. Hey, if there's rumors, that means we're generating some PR. So there's no such bad thing as that. But Jason, first off, how are you and your family doing? I see you posted a fun Instagram meme based on the Oscars yesterday.
Yeah, I have a theory on that. I feel like after Will's movie Entanglement, he needs a little rebranding. So he's probably going to be like an action movie. So he's trying to, toughen his image up a little bit.
So are you on it's Team Fake or it's on Team Real?
I'm thinking Team Fake. If somebody really disrespect my wife, I'm going to knock them the fuck out. I mean, there's going to be no slap.
Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we're on the same page with that. But look, Jason, we didn't have you on to talk about the Oscars because we're here to talk about.
I didn't watch it. Yeah.
I didn't either. That's social media. But I want to build a time machine. We go back to the early years, and you attended Paw Paw High School in Michigan. Is that really the name of it? Paw Paw High School?
Yeah, it's actually named after a native fruit. It's kind of like a banana in Native American terms. It was named the pawpaw tree, and then the town was the area where they only had them in that little river valley.
Oh man. Okay, so we're confirming it here. But so you attend there, and you don't play just one, not just two, but 3 sports: lettering in football, wrestling, and track. So in football, you're a 2-time defensive MVP and an all-Kalamazoo, man, I love these names, Valley Association first team your senior year. But that was just for football because you're a state champion your senior year of wrestling. But that was just the first 2 sports, as you were a state qualifier in throwing events with top throws in shot put and discus. Like some of us aren't even good at one sport.
And the 4x1. So.
You realize, like, I think I'm okay at sports, and then I just look at your accolades in high school. I'm like, I'm not anywhere close.
I tell you what was humbling is when I got inducted into my Paw Paw High School Hall of Fame. I went with my cousin, who's a few years older, and I knew he had some accolades, but they read mine, and I was like, okay, that sounds good. Then his were about 3 pages longer, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay, I guess you're the man here.
So, Jason, speaking of accolades, obviously with accolades comes success, but in success, there's always some kind of, fall to get back to the success. So you come back from a broken leg in your senior year and actually play the last 3 games of the season in your football season. You obviously get a scholarship.
It wasn't a lot of pretty reps, that's for sure.
So obviously was any part of you scared that you may not get that offer? Or that you would be done football after this leg injury?
Actually, no. It was with football going to college really wasn't on my radar. I wanted to be a Navy SEAL, and I actually signed up for the Navy. But because of my asthma and some other medical stuff in my file, they didn't take me as an applicant. So I took about a semester off. I didn't actually go to Western Michigan until the second semester. Of after high school.
Oh wow! I mean, and Jason, that's kind of the stuff you can't find on Wikipedia. But I mean, hey, I want to talk about that resilience though. Playing with a broken leg. Look, they're not pretty reps, but they're reps because 99.9% of people are not doing that. So, but look,
yeah, we actually somehow my dad convinced one of the medical rep guys he knew. That was at the time there was a device called a bone stimulator, and it went over my cast. It was supposed to help stimulate bone growth to try and get the break to heal quicker. So I guess we kind of pulled out all stops.
Oh man, well look, things happen for a reason, and that doesn't even slow you down because as mentioned, you attend Western Michigan University, where you stuck to one sport. I'm glad you specialized, but
They didn't have wrestling, so and they got rid of their track.
Okay.
So I didn't even have the opportunity.
Okay. Well, now I know you would have. So your freshman year, you play in all 12 games. You have 34 tackles, and you're actually the only true freshman on the team to earn a letter. Your stats improved your sophomore year, and your junior year is where you really took off. You have 94 tackles, 15 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a recovery. In IDP football league, that is great because we are a fantasy show. But look, senior year is where your stock was at an all-time high, just like GameStop last year if you're into the finance world. 115 tackles, 15 sacks, 33 TFLs, earning first-team All-American mid-conference selection, league's defensive player of the year. And I mean, during your time there, you put up video game numbers, 299 tackles, 38 sacks, 8 forced fumbles, 2 recoveries. You also set career marks in sacks 38 and tackles for loss 75, which are both school records still. I looked it up. And I also want to include your pass deflections, 3 blocked punts, and you had 3 catches for 55 yards. That's 8.5 PPR points right there. Got to
Right?
give you offensive stats. I have to.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, there was a big one you forgot. That was the Playboy All-American. Back for the people that are a little older, the Playboy All-American used to be a thing.
Oh, awesome. Jason,
and we got to go out, have a nice little weekend as well. So
okay. All right. You're foreshadowing a question I want to ask. We got some people checking in. Love that inspiration on there. But I know there's a question Teddy has about your college journey.
So obviously ending your college journey, great career. And you did make the right choice. You selected a great college where Terry Crews, Corey Davis. So it's definitely a prestigious college in that football aspect. As you're nearing going into the NFL, did you feel that you were ready for to play pro? And, who was helping you with that draft process? Did you, like high school, did you think that you weren't going to go the football route anymore? Or was it just...
honestly, I loved working out. I loved being a part of the team. I loved being in college. I enjoyed all aspects of it. Let's put it like that. But then it was I think the summer going into my junior year, Coach Darnell called me up to the office, and he's like, he's got a southern accent. He's like, now, Jason, I'm going to tell you something right now. He's like, you want to do this football thing next level, you got what it takes now. And he and I don't mean to downplay this conversation, because I left this conversation, I remember riding the elevator down because it's on the 3rd story, and riding the elevator down, I'm like, holy shit. I mean, I don't think this guy's bullshitting me, So, and I always worked hard, always trained hard, did the right things. I never, I did all those things. But then I literally, that moment left, I go, you know what? I'm all in. I'm going to train like an Olympian. I'm going to focus more. I'm going to, work out more. I'm going to take things, I'm figure out a way to take things to the next level. And from that moment on, I never looked back, honestly. And then, and it's your second question was, am I ready? I'm like, honestly, I had, I wouldn't say I was arrogant, but maybe been some arrogance. But more of a, I don't give a shit, this is my field, mentality. I'm gonna step out and own it. So I didn't really think like, am I ready? I'm like, are they ready for me? That's how I was thinking at the time.
Oh man, yeah, the NFL, were they ready for you? And I mean, look, you made the right choice. You're selected 27th by the Texans in the 2004 NFL draft, giving up their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th round just to move up and get you. Now, Jason, I don't like to assume people drank on draft night. But if you did, what did you drink?
Oh, we drank everything.
Everything.
I think we partied all night, and then we had about a 5:30 flight the next morning. So.
Oh my gosh, that must be the worst hangover ever.
Yeah, I think the older you get, the harder it is to pull those off. And at that age, I don't think it was really bothered me.
Oh man. Well, look, I want to touch in your career with Houston to begin, because look, you make an impact right out of the gate. You have 63 tackles, you got 4 sacks, 5 pass deflections, 2 fumble recoveries, playing all 16 games, really showing why they came up and drafted you. And your next 2 seasons with Houston, you'd play in 27 games, finishing with 63 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 9 sacks, and 2 pass deflections. But after that 2006 season, they trade you to the Seahawks. But I'm curious, so the Texans, they trade up to get you. You start 16 games your rookie year, but only 6 the following 2. It doesn't seem like you got a fair shot. I'm curious to hear how the Texans approached you about being traded, especially after giving up a lot for your services.
Well, I mean, obviously, you remember, I think might have won one game my first year, and I can't remember if the coach got fired or not, or maybe it was one more year.
Mhm.
It was a very very volatile situation, and I know the new coach wanted, he wanted these big, I said, listen, I want to play defensive end, I'm learning how to play linebacker, but I'm good at rushing the passer. That's what got me drafted. And I was always kind of lobbying for that situation, and that's not where they needed me. So I did always feel like I didn't get a fair shot in the sense of what I could do best, but it wasn't about me. It was about what the team needed me to do, to try and win some games. But it was tough when you're winning one game, 4 games, 6 games. Everyone's getting fired every offseason, so it's not a great place to grow and develop. That's for sure.
Yeah, and so I'm curious, and I'm foreshadowing a little bit because I'm gonna, got to look at you there. But your best statistical seasons came in Tennessee in 2010 and Philly in 2011, where you're listed as a defensive end, and most of your career you were listed as an outside linebacker. And being able to sack the quarterback is such a sought-after trait in the NFL. I mean, why did teams not have you as an edge rusher prior to these 2 seasons?
Well, I think my 2 years in Seattle was the best time and the worst time. And it was the worst time because obviously I didn't play. And I mean, I was training like a madman, working out. But the cool thing that kind of happened for me was I got to be teammates with Patrick Kearney, and we had the same agent. And as you guys know, Patrick, he's a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
He's a machine. I mean, he ate his meal at a certain time. He slept in the hyperbaric chamber. He worked out at a certain time. He got IVs, got massages, and I really was like, okay, I'm a pro, but this guy's a freaking true pro. So you know what? I worked out with Patrick, watched tape with Patrick. What did Patrick do? I'm gonna do that. I bought a hyperbaric chamber. I started sleeping in that. I took things to the highest degree level of seriousness I could take, which I already, thought I was, all in, and you find out like I can do more. And then I got the opportunity, obviously, to play defensive end, and after that, but I was ready, to the 10th degree.
Yeah. Would you say Patrick Kearney was probably the best teammate you had? We have a listener chiming in that is curious. Sounds like you might have answered this question.
It was the best teammate for me, that's for sure, because I needed him. I think to emulate. I've kind of always taken that approach with anything I would do. If I want to learn something new as something I don't know, I find who the best person I think is at that thing, and I replicate. I do what they do. It's not hard to emulate when someone's at the top.
I think that's really admirable, and kind of checking your ego, saying like, look, I'm not the best. There's always things to learn. There's teammates that can teach me lessons, and that's how I'm going to improve my game. And so, we talked about the brief stint with the Seahawks, the Chiefs, your first with the Eagles. I mean, Tennessee in 2010 is where you really shined. And it's ironic because at 30, I feel like most people get that perception of like, oh, they're on the downside of their career, but that's your first best statistical season at that point. You started all 16 games. You have
it was funny.
sacks.
Sorry to interrupt you. It was funny. I was sitting there and I'm visiting with Coach Washburn in his office in Tennessee, and I think they had the draft pick, and everyone knew they were going to take, or maybe they already took him at the time, Derek Morgan. And I said, listen, all I want is a fair shake. He's like, listen, the best man plays. He told me, best man plays. I go, listen. I said, Coach, don't bullshit me. I go. There's situations that dictate otherwise. He goes, absolutely not. And he yells on the hallway. He goes, Fisher, get in here, right? And Jeff, Coach Fisher pops his head in, which now we're, I know the guy a lot different now, but he asked him. He goes, hey, do I have final say who starts at defensive end, who plays, who doesn't play? He goes, absolutely. So it wasn't this bullshit. It was like I could feel he's being serious. I was like, you know what? Let's give these Tennessee Titans let's give it a go.
This is an off-related question, but somebody asked, did anyone have bigger arms than you of anyone you played with?
I'm sure, but I think maybe in 2009 we started this thing called Fat Arm Friday, where we had, and honestly, my kids and I still do it on Fridays, to this day. So currently I'm at 21 and a quarter, but hopefully my kids will take the mantle at some point.
So Jason, I got to ask, as someone who's kind of into the fitness thing, What actually is Fat Arm Friday? Is it a measuring contest or?
No, we're doing biceps, triceps. We're doing we're doing holds. We're doing you're leaving there, getting ready, with an arm swole.
Ooh.
So it's
And
really bad to where you can't do this after the workout, right?
absolutely. And yeah, one of I just drew a blank here. One of my who was a punter for New York Giants.
Steve Weatherford.
So Steve would send me his when he first started doing his fitness stuff, like his stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try it, see, give you some feedback. So like we run some of his stuff by on Fridays, and it's some pretty intense stuff, high endurance stuff as well. So it's fun. It's a nice workout on Fridays.
Oh,
Obviously
man.
throw some abs in there as well.
Oh man, you have to. I mean, look, Jason, those big arms that helped you land the contract with the Eagles. Big payday, 5-year, $28 million. I mean, you started out that year hot, 2 sacks in the first game. You finished with 18 that season, which led the league. I mean, you're named a Pro Bowl for a second consecutive year, but this time you're the AP All-Second team as well. I mean, that's got to feel good, right?
Oh, it didn't suck, that's for sure.
So you play 11 games with the Eagles the following season. You go to the Jaguars and you finish your season with 7 sacks, a career high forced fumbles between the teams. I mean, we gotta make sure that we give out your career highs as well. But there's one game your following season I want to ask you about, and you probably get it all the time, where you ripped out Andre Ellington's dreads. So I'm just curious, like, did you when you're doing that tackle? Did you feel you ripping out his dreads? Did you just be like, oh, I know your reaction because you just like open up your hand and drop them? Like, how did that go?
I mean, honestly, the one unique thing about football is where you can be all frontal lobe, especially as a defensive player. You're kind of a gladiator. You're out there, imposing your will on other people. So, I don't really have a filter on things. So, if it's available, if it's moving, I'm hitting. If I can grab it, I'm grabbing it. So it's one of those things that kind of happen in the moment. And as you guys know, later we were teammates, but we weren't particularly close.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to say that he did. The team did actually get his hair back at the end, so nothing was lost at the end.
I do have some made up and some photos and some pictures and like all matted for some charity events from time to time. So I did. I was able to procure some myself.
I'm just thinking of the awkwardness, and I wonder if anybody has thought about cutting their dreads when they get to the NFL, because they don't want that to happen. Not only for the sake that they're getting tackled, but I gotta imagine that hurts, right?
I don't know. I've never had dreads, but as you guys know, the NFL is definitely tamed down quite a bit since I played in it.
They call it the no fun league for a reason. So, Jason, I want to wrap out your playing career. So after the time with the Jags, you had some stints with the Jets, the Ravens, the Cardinals. You hang it up after the 2016 season. But off the field, you stayed pretty busy. So you co-founded Red Zone Realty Group with a former teammate of yours. Kind of curious to hear that venture, how you guys got started, how people can close some deals with you.
Yeah, so the cool thing about Red Zone is the way I set it up was I kind of took that locker room mentality, right? You guys know when you have the locker room where you have the right kind of guys. You have people that are selfless, people that are motivated, people that are learning based, people that want to improve, people that take coaching. Those are the locker rooms that you have where you make those playoff runs. You go deep in the playoffs. So when I created the mission, vision, value, and belief, I created a set of standards that we're only going to allow these type of people into our organization. Whether it's the real estate brand, the mortgage, the title, our home construction, or whatever it is. Everything is kind of predicated around that, and it's kind of unique now. I think this is year 5, and people come to our trainings. We'll have like 30 or 40 people on our trainings, depending on location and where we're at. But they come in to see if they want to be a part of it, and it's almost like they either fit in or they don't fit in. Because the culture is so predominant that it kind of recruits itself. I kind of took everything I said, like I knew about sports and locker room and create a winning culture, and kind of replicate that in business. So it's been really fulfilling in the sense of I got to see so many people, achieve their goals, create new goals, achieve those goals, from a financial perspective and, emotional perspective, the whole ride. So it definitely has a very fulfilling, thing for me to do on a daily basis. People are like, well, why do you still work? I'm like, well, I tell them, listen, I really don't work. I help people get what they need, on a daily basis.
I love that because I think a lot of players, especially once we've talked to post-career, they struggle kind of finding their identity. Some want to get involved in coaching, others want to be in the media. And some people, say like, hey, look, football was a past life of mine and I'm excited to explore some new opportunities and ventures. So I'm really glad that you don't even find it as work.
Now, I really am just a coach. So, spend my day in business planning or meeting with my coaches. So it's just an extension of football in a way.
Okay.
And Jason, you're also a family man, obviously, and you were just in Machu Picchu on your Instagram. I got to ask, were you still physically fit to get up that mountain, or how was it going?
Oddly enough, I have 3 boys, 16, 14, and 8. The 8-year-old was like a billy goat on cocaine. He wore the guide out. I'm like, both the guide and I were like, whew, buddy, let's just hang on, just give us a second here.
Give me a second, yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's because he's 80 pounds, years old. I don't know what the deal is, but we actually made plans to do Kilimanjaro, and I think the youngest one and I are gonna try and do all 7 summits. So we got a new bucket list.
Oh man, I love it. And Jason, I just got to stick with one more sport. You're an avid poker player, I heard.
Yeah, we actually have a tournament, charity tournament at my house this weekend. They're setting up 4 tables and dealers, and we're gonna raise some money for charity.
Okay.
Friday.
Okay. What's the buy-in? You're 1-3, a 3-5.
Yeah, it's 1-3, but we start small and then we'll have some buy-ins back, but it's for charity.
Okay. I like that. If you're ever in Maryland, we got to get a poker game going together because I would love to take your money. You probably you can stack me in terms of buy-ins. I don't have your net worth, but if we're buying for the same amount, I'll stack you.
All right. I don't know. I don't have any tells, so I'm a good liar.
Okay.
When it comes to poker.
Okay. Bluffing is half the battle. So, Jason, we are talking with the defensive end here, the man that caused panic in quarterbacks. We like to get our guests out of here with a little triple play, rapid fire, some this or that questions. Are you game?
Oh, I'm ready. Let's go.
Awesome. We just have to plug our quick sponsor, and we are sponsored by ODDSJAM.
Here we can see an example from the Yankees-Twins game tomorrow. The Twins, for example, are plus 180 on BetMGM. They're plus 215 on Fox Bet. You ever imagine placing a bet plus 180 odds on BetMGM if you knew you were getting plus 215 on Fox Bet? It's absurd. Now, if you think these discrepancies in odds, like the difference even between plus 200 and plus 215 is small, then there is a massive, massive flaw.
You heard that. For our betting, gambling people out there, go to ODDSJAM, use promo code Triple Play. I mean, look, if you're going to bet, if you're trying to take St. Peter's money line like they did against Purdue, you make sure you want to get the best odds. So, Jason, I told you you've got some triple play rapid fire. I'm letting you know these are not all football-related questions, and you absolutely have not been asked some of these. So I hope you're ready. All right. The better jersey to wear, and this is just in terms of looks, the Titans blue, the Eagles green, or the Jaguars teal?
I'm going to say the Eagles green.
Okay. That Eagles green is very tough. Rank these 3: pancakes, waffles, and French toast.
Pancakes, French toast, waffles.
Pancakes first? Oh, come on. It's French toast.
I make some mean protein pancakes on Sundays. So.
Oh, man. All right. Our first disagreement. It had to happen at some point. Would you rather have a multi-sack game or you land a deal with Red Zone Realty?
I'm going multi-sack game.
Okay. There we go. I like it. Especially, too, if you can get a forced fumble in there also. I love it. No gym for 3 months or no haircut for a year. And I say that because you have a fresh cut.
I'm gonna go no haircut.
You got to go to the gym, right?
honestly, not even just to not be a fat ass, but just I would just be in a bad mood.
Okay. I like it. I mean, you'll get that mountain man hair when you're, doing the 7 summits. So maybe it kind of fits.
Yeah,
Okay.
We'll see.
Now, obviously in poker, if you get a pocket pair, ace, king suited, you play that. But is there any hand you'd really like just because it's done you well? Like 9-4 or something like that?
Well, I was once with my dad when he had a royal flush, and we were at the casino and won the big jackpot. So I've only seen it done once, and it was my dad, and I was with him. We got one of those massive checks. So it was spades royal flush. So it was definitely my favorite hand.
Okay.
Not that I've gotten it.
What was the hand?
Royal flush.
Okay. But was it like Jack 10 suited pre-flop?
No, he had 3 out of 5.
Okay. All right. I like that. I mean,
he got on the flop. So
all right. If I know that you're raising pre-hand, I'll assume you have pocket spades.
That's right.
What did you enjoy more, field trips or field day?
Field trips.
Okay. Was there a favorite one?
I'm a big zoo guy, so going to the zoo was always cool as a kid. We just actually went to the one here in West Palm last weekend.
Okay. That's awesome. We got a few more left here. Would you rather be stranded in the desert or in Antarctica?
I'm gonna say desert.
I mean, you're probably gonna die either way, right? Would you rather wear a subtly stained shirt or one with an obvious wrinkle?
Oof, I'm going to wear the obvious wrinkle.
Okay. Those stains you don't like?
I don't know. At least I have a wrinkle shirt. It's like, I took it off and put it on,
Okay. Last 2 here. And I always ask people this, and Jason, you're going to disappoint me if you don't answer the one that I'm expecting. Would you rather fight Mike Tyson once, or you have to talk like him the rest of your life?
I'm fighting Mike Tyson.
Yes, that's what I thought. That's what I thought you would do.
Absolutely.
The scary defender. Scary defenders. And I always say that.
I remember it was when I was with the Texans, and Holyfield came to talk to us after practice. This was freshly after Mike bit his ear. So we're standing there on the field, and there's maybe like 10 of us who's just making small talk, and all I can stare at is his ear, right? I'm like, holy shit, there's a chunk missing. But then the second thing I'm looking at it, I'm like, dude, I'm way bigger than this guy. He's like 190, 195. I'm thinking like, well, maybe I can, So, and then we got done with practice in the locker room, and the other guys were like, I was thinking the same thing. So.
Oh my God. And here's the thing, because most people have to really debate it. Like, you gave the most confident answer ever. We wouldn't just throw you in cold turkey. You would have months to train for it.
Yeah, I would. I'd love the training part. So we'd be ready.
Oh my gosh, Jason, that just made my day with that answer.
And for those that don't know, you won't find this on Wikipedia. I think fighting used to be a strong hobby of mine as a young man. So there's some interesting stories and rumors out there about.
Oh man,
that's why I got into wrestling and sports. Get me out of trouble.
Oh man, it was a good way to channel it. So
and
Jason,
they didn't have MMA either.
Oh man, I would take you in MMA. I could see, we've seen Greg Hardy make the transition. I feel like you could do it also.
I got the ground game now with the wrestling background. So, and I've helped a couple guys that do some MMA with their ground game too. So,
the tats are terrifying too. Let me tell you. So Jason, this is the last one, and this is important. Do you pull your toilet paper from the top or from the bottom?
So, if you've ever looked up the patent when they first submitted the patent for toilet paper, it's got it coming off the top. So I'm an off the top kind of guy.
No, but here's the thing.
Check this. It's a patent.
But this isn't natural. Think about it. What's easier, chin-ups or pull-ups? Chin-ups, you go this way.
Yeah, but then you get the aesthetics. You get that long tail sometimes. I gotta have the things unclean.
Oh man. All right.
Top. Hey, just like Stallone over the top. So.
All right. Well, I mean, if there's a patent for it, I'll think about changing my ways. But I'm a from the bottom type of person. So.
See, I told you I had rumors about you.
That's true. Well, I mean, Jason, we really appreciate you hopping in and chatting it up with us. Is there anything that you want to plug, where they can find you on the socials, your highlights, Red Zone Realty, maybe where they can find you taking money from people in poker? The floor is yours.
No, you can find us on Red Zone Realty. We're on all the socials and Red Zone Realty in the Google. So we recently started franchising, so we're hopefully be in a state near you.
Yeah. And I mean, look, if you're looking to get into that real estate game, if you're looking to maybe switch careers like Jason did, that'd be the guy to talk to. Everybody that tunes in for Triple Play, we really appreciate it. Make sure you click subscribe. Make sure you give Jason a follow on the socials too. He deserves a bigger